Welcome to the Knife Combat video course. My name is Matei and I am the founder of Tactical Combat System that is teaching blade and fire weapon tactics. TCS was designed for military and law enforcement personnel, but was adapted also for the civilians that want to learn more than fancy arts, that they want to learn efficient techniques. Tactical Combat System has its origins in my experience and contact with real violence, drag out in more than 10 years when I work as an operator in a special tactical police unit, and another 3 years as a private military contractor with missions in high-risk areas. For the past 4 years, I teach in seminars and courses for military, law enforcement and civilians in many countries around Europe. This course is designed to give you the ABC, the fundamentals of tactical combat system regarding the blade fighting. If you are a beginner student or advanced in TCS or practicing other system, doesn't matter. This course offers you the knowledge that you must use after in your trainings to achieve the level needed to operate and use a knife in close distance combat situations. This is the first video course from a series that has the goal to take you from the fundamentals to the advanced blade tactics against multiple aggressors. TCS combat philosophy is based on 3 aspects: speed, precision and efficiency. In my way of the knife, there are 3 aspects that can influence your survival in a real situation. One is how fast you can deploy your knife, the second is how fast you can strike, and the last one is how precise you can hit. Hi guys, welcome to the first part of this video course. For this course I will use 2 types of knives. One, a folder, it's not automatic, it's a normal folder, it can be fast only if you are knowing how to deploy it. A fixed blade, and also a tactical metal pen, because a lot of the techniques that we will make today in this video course can be adapted to other kinds of tools. Remember that the knife, it's a tool. You are the weapon and you use different tools for your survival. We don't fight with a knife, we use the knife as a tool to create the space and the distance that we can go away from the danger zone. Okay, let's start that. First I will speak about the grip, the knife grip. In Tactical Combat System we have 2 kinds of grip. One is the normal grip and the second is the reverse grip. Very important tips: if you use the reverse grip and you have an action of striking, penetrating with the knife, it's very important that your thumb finger, it's used like a stopper. It's putting on the handle of the knife, and his role is like a stopper, because if you are fighting in a real situation and let's say it's because of the meteorological circumstances or because of the blood or sweat, you don't put your thumb like a stopper and you don't have the knife a tsuba, a guard. When you will strike hard parts of the body, it's possible that your hand will slip on the blade. So it's very important to use this kind of technique to put the thumb like a stopper. The same thing, for example, if you use the tactical pen, if you don't put the finger on the top, you will not have the force, the same force to penetrate the soft tissues of the body. So very important, this stuff, put your finger on the top of the tactical pen or knife or screwdriver, or doesn't matter what you use. It's very important that you learn from the beginning this fundamental thing. At the normal grip, when we have a normal grip, it's the same. Here we find two situations. One in which we use the normal grip and we put our finger on the top. I will show you here. On the bottom of the blade that is not cutting. This is helping when, for example, I am doing a striking of precision. This is helping to have precision in my strikes. If I use the normal grip and I want to have hard, powerful, penetrating strikes in the body, then I don't put anymore the finger there, because imagine if I have a tsuba here, the force will broke my finger, my thumb finger. So we put this only when you have like jab in the boxing, like precision strikes, but when you have powerful ones, the grip must be a normal hard one on the knife. So these are the two fundamental grips that we will use in tactical combat system: the normal one and the reverse one. Very important, like a tip of exercising, you can practice changing the grips. It's like a game. You can take a knife, you can take whatever you want and flip it. I will not show a technique of flipping the knife, because in real situation we don't use and we don't flip the knife, because it's the probability and possibility that we lose it is dropped down. So this is only to accustom with the blade to feel the weight and to be able to learn the both grips, normal grips, reverse grip. The stanza, the position, the basic position in tactical combat system, it's depending on the situation. If you are and we talk in this course, my focus is on close combat situation, on close combat fighting situation, in which I was not prepared. I am aware, I'm in a situation in which I am aware, but I was not prepared and I'm not ready with the knife out, being with another guy in a fighting position and doing fencing and tactical moves, who is striking or who is doing the best tactics to win. Because in my concept, there are three main situations in a knife fighting. Number one, in which you have an aggressor with a knife. You have a knife at you, or even if you don't have, it's bad for you. But we put in the idea that you have a knife on you, and you have all the space around you that you can run from that situation, run away. This is the first main lesson. The second situation in which you can be is when you have an aggressor with a knife. You have at you a knife or another tool that you can use, but to run away, to evade, you must have contact with him. Imagine a room that has a door, and you to reach that door and pass the door and run away, you must have contact with your aggressor. So in that moment, you use your tool to create the distance and the time to run away. We don't stay and fight with the knife. Doesn't exist knife fighters. When I hear knife fighters, it's like I imagine somebody that every day is going somewhere and is fighting and cutting and stabbing with a knife. So the knife, it's a tool, we use it for our survival in extreme dangerous situation in which our life, our family's lives or civilians' lives are put in danger. And the third situation is in which you are in a place, in a space that you cannot have possibility to run. Imagine, for example, a closed room, an elevator. Yeah, if you have a big building with many levels, that portion of time until the elevator is reaching the exit place or the level that the doors will be open, you are in a space where you cannot run. It's a close range space. So you can do whatever technique you want and you fight until the other is down and you are alive or dead. It's a dead or alive situation. You must fight until the end. This is the most bad of the situation. Coming back to our idea of the stanza, we are talking about close combat fighting. So in close combat fighting means that you were not in the position with the knife deployed and you entering in a fancy eskrima techniques and you search for vulnerable spots of your aggressors and you do your tactics. You are in a situation, for example, in which you are walking on the street. Imagine with your family, with your child, you are walking on the street, you hear some noises, somebody, a terrorist, is beginning to stab people in a metro station or in a bus station, and you identify the target, the guy is coming to you, you protect your child, you deploy your weapon, and you use that tool to survive and to save yourself and your family. So in this situation doesn't exist a stance. You can be at the coffee, you can be at the coffee shop sitting on the chair, you can be at your desk at the work and doing your papers and somebody coming and attack you with a knife or I don't know what other situation. So doesn't exist a fixed stanza. From a normal relaxing position you are passing to a fighting mode. Okay, when you are doing your techniques, from the moment in which you start your techniques, we have some tips for sure and some rules that we must follow so we protect better ourselves. So every time we are using the knife, it's very important that the hand that is empty, it's covering your, at least some parts of your vital spots of the body. So if you have, for example, a boxing position, it's like the same idea. I'm in the boxing position. One is covering my ribs and my thoracic box. One is on the base of the chin. Here we don't need to protect the chin. We need to protect the jugular, the carotid veins that are passing through the neck. So here we have the same thing. I have the knife in my hand, in my strong hand, and the other, it's protecting my carotid as much as I can, if you can see a little bit. And I'm in the fighting position. Normally, if I begin to do a technique, I will not have a stanza. So if I don't have a stanza, I cannot tell you that, very important, then the hand, the powerful hand with the knife must be in the strong hand, must always be in the front. But after I'm doing a technique, a stabbing technique, doesn't matter what, and I have other aggressors, and from the close distance, when I was not having a fixed stanza, I'm passing to a fancy knife using situation, then my legs, my body must change to that situation. So my hands, my strong hand must have the knife in front because I have a better range to stab and to do my technique, and the other is in the same position of protecting myself. So very important, hand protecting your vital organs. Hand, it's not with the interior facing outside, because it's called biomechanical cut. Means that if I am in this position and I'm being cut on the interior of the arms, my possibility, my capacity to hold, the power of holding a tool in my hand, it's going very down, so I lose this power. It will not drop your knife immediately, but for sure you don't have the power anymore to cut or to stab with that hand if the tendons and the constrictor tendons and muscles are cut on the interior. If I am cut on the exterior, this ability of my hand to extend, it's being reduced, but I don't need this. I need to grab, I need my knife to have it in my hand and make my techniques. So, protecting the interior of the hands, protecting as much as I can my body. Another very important thing, when I'm using the knife, you can use, like in boxing you have this kind of thing, this guard, in which one of the hand is raised and protecting the chin. So I bring my shoulder very up. Yeah. So in this position, imagine that it's helping you a lot. If I'm standing in this position, it's helping me a lot if I have a vertical or a lateral cut, because yes, it can cut my face, it can cut a lot of part of my face, I'm referring to a cut, but I protect the most important part of this zone. So again, you must understand that tactical combat system uses simple and efficient techniques. I'm not coming here to you and say, if you are practicing boxing, if you are practicing Krav Maga, if you are practicing I don't know what self-defense system, I'm not coming here to tell you to change your system. I am teaching you knife combat. So you can adapt the techniques of knife combat, the techniques that I show you, to your techniques. Okay, we must make a difference between art and reality. I'm not talking here about martial arts, about traditional martial arts, Aikido, traditional Jiu-Jitsu, Karate, and other styles like that are part of martial arts. Martial arts is one type. It's helping you for the mind, for the spirit, for the body, but doesn't have anything to do with real situation, with real fights. It can help you, it can improve your motricity, your reflexes, but your elasticity, but doesn't have anything to do with a fighting, with a real fighting situation, with knives, with multiple aggressors and stuff like this. So, tactical combat system, it's teaching you very simple stuff that can be connected with already what you know. If I'm a boxer, doesn't matter, you are a boxer, you are a MMA fighter, you are a Krav Maga practitioner, the same things are in any of these styles, because they are using contact basic knowledge of fighting. For example, if I am in a guard of a boxing guard, yeah, I protect myself, I protect my chin, I have the shoulders up, and from here I'm starting to deliver punches. I rotate my body, I protect my chin, I give in my strikes. So in boxing and in every system of fighting, we have, for example, the direct punch. Yeah? The same, only that now we take a knife and we put it in the hand, and we have the same motion. We have a direct punch, but only that now I have in my hand an extension that is the knife. But it's the same concept, you don't change nothing. The other hand is protecting, the other is going. Very simple. One is going, one is protecting. I rotate my body, I pivotate, and I deliver my strike with the knife. Yeah. So it's the same idea. In boxing and all the other styles, you have the hook. Yeah. I am in the boxing position, in the guard position. One is protecting. I'm rotating my body. I'm giving the hook. It's the same concept now. I have the knife. I have the hook. In boxing or every other style, you have the uppercut. From down, I take energy from the ground, I let a little bit my level, and I go with a punch from down to up. The same. We have a knife. I'm in the position, I'm going down, take it up, take it up. Look at my hand. Because it's a powerful strike, I don't put the finger on the top. Here I can put it because I don't have a tsuba, I don't have a guard to the knife. But if you have, and you do this kind of strike, your thumb will be broken. So I have a normal strong grip. Yes, 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 yes. Good. What else we have in the self-defense or combat styles? What other strikes we have? We have the elbow, yeah? Very important and powerful strike in the hand-to-hand combat. I want to tell you from the beginning that not that I'm not the fan of hand-to-hand combat. For sure, hand-to-hand combat, it's very important, and also in tactical combat system is very important, because you can be in situations in which you must deploy your weapon. You have the weapon that is concealed. So to deploy your weapon, you must first create the time and the distance using, for example, your body, your hand-to-hand combat skills, so you can deploy your weapons. But the difference is that we don't put so much accent on this, on the hand-to-hand combat skills. We put the accent only at the limit that we use these skills to deploy our weapon. Our goal is to deploy our weapon. We have a weapon and a deadly weapon, and we are in a deadly situations. So using and be catched by the hand-to-hand combat in the deadly situation, it's decreasing your probability to survive. So, knives are better than empty body. This is logical. Knives cut, knives are stabbing, knives are dangerous, knives are killing. So having a knife at you and fighting with the empty hands in a situation in which you must protect your family and it will cost your life or the other's life, it's a bad choice. So use your tools. So we come back, we said that another technique that we have is the elbow. Yeah? I'm in the fighting position, I twist my body, all my energy I'm taking from the ground, I'm twisting my body and I'm hitting with the elbow. The same I have in the knife system. I'm in the reverse grip, and now imagine the same motion, exercise the same motion, I am giving the elbow. Only that now, having a knife, not my elbow is the part, the place of contact, but my blade. The blade is the place of contact. So when I'm twisting my hand, my elbow, I am twisting also my wrist. So the place of contact is the knife. The motion is the same. But the place of contact is the knife. Where you cut with this kind of strike, you cut on the carotid, on the lateral of the carotid. There is going this kind of strike. So, we had simple techniques of striking that anyone that do a martial art, or even if they don't do it, they have knowledge, a little bit of knowledge about it. And we adapt to these strikes the knife. Jab, direct punch. Ace, ace. I have a knife. Ace, ace, ace. Hook. Ace, ace, ace. I have a knife. Ace, 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 ace. Good. I have the uppercut. The same thing I have with the knife. I have the elbow. I have with the knife, let's say. So, 4 simple strikes that now you learn already to do it with the knife. I want to repeat to you. You will not see this video and you will become an expert with a knife. Doesn't exist this. You can see this video, take all the exercises and what I teach you here, put it in your daily training, train and train and train and train, exit from the box, and in the near future, for sure, you will know how to operate a blade and how to be efficient in the blade fight. Exiting from the box means that a lot of people are coming or are doing different martial arts, different contact sports, boxing, MMA, and other Krav Maga. And everyone has this idea that his style, or what he's practicing, is the best style. No, the boxings are the best techniques. No, the MMA fighters. No, the Krav Maga, because they are using other things. But if you are thinking like this, you will be stuck, because if you are coming to the street, in a street fight, and you have this mentality, for example, you are a ground fighter, and you are good, and you have a multiple aggressor, multiple attack situation, and you go down with one of these guys, without respecting and having in your mind that this one of these guys have at him a weapon. People are carrying weapons. Believe it or not, they are carrying a lot of weapons. So going down in the idea that you are an MMA fighter or a BJJ fighter, going down with a guy that has a knife, you risk a lot of the possibility to stay alive. Because this guy, this will want to close the distance with you, take the knife and stab you. The same idea with the other concepts of fighting. So my advice to you, like a guy that was passing and having contact with violence so many years, is that you become an expert, or you have knowledge, basic knowledge, in all kind of fighting, ground fighting, striking skills, knife fighting, fire weapons fighting. If you tell me, okay, an MMA fighter, it's the best style, that the best fighter, complete fighter, okay, but what you doing tomorrow, an MMA fighter or a boxing fighter, it's finding himself in a gunfight, and he don't know to operate a weapon that he find on the ground because some terrorist or something was happening and somebody dropped his weapon. So my advice is learning all the things. Learn from everything until you create your own system. System that after this you must test it. It's not enough to say, okay, I am doing so good these knife fighting skills and I am moving so good, or I am so good going to the shooting range and shoot only in 10. If you don't test these things, testing to be close, this testing of reality. For example, yeah, you can be the best shooter in the world, going in front of a target, shooting, giving only 10. But you can be the best shooter in the world if tomorrow you are in a real situation and you have adrenaline, your heart beats, your breathing, you feel that the pressure of your blood flow is exploding in you, you have sweat in your hands, or it's cold outside, another situation, and your hands are not having anymore the dexterity of using the weapon like you use in the shooting range, without having any pressure factors, stress. So every time test your training and do it past your limits. Pass your limits. For example, I give you an example of me, personal example. I am also teaching knife throwing techniques, and in the time I become very good at this. So when I master a technique and I know that now I can throw a knife from 2.5 meters, 3 meters and hit like a pool ball diameter circle, then I think, okay, how I can be better, how I can push this thing. And the people that know me or follow my website page or Facebook page, they can see there that now, for example, I can throw blind myself, put a mask on the face, without seeing and throwing from the same distance, because what is happening is nothing magical. It's the muscle memory. You repeat, repeat, repeat until it's something that you do like eating. When you are a child, you don't know to eat with a spoon. Now you do it automatically, instinctively, because you repeat it every day until you don't need to think at it anymore. This is with the training also. You must repeat, repeat, practice, test it, and after this, if it's working what you learn or what you teach, then you can say, okay, these things will help me. They can help me, these techniques. But I want to remind you that nothing is fixed. Doesn't exist a system, neither my system, neither one system that is it's guaranteed to you the victory or the survival. This is coming from your personal trainings, from your how much sweat you put in your trainings, from your luck, and from your contact with real violence. Okay, now we have been repeating, I have been showing to you the simple striking methods from boxing or other martial arts and put it with a knife in your hand. I give you a simple exercise that you can repeat every day. Every day, 10 minutes, when you have time. If you are at the training, you finish your training, your normal training, and you have a training knife, a very important thing that I didn't say. I was operating and I am operating with real knives that are very sharp and are cutting. If you are a beginner, or if you are not mastering so good the basic techniques, if you don't have good motricity on your hands, please, for the beginning, use a training knife. You will find that it's the rubber knives or other plastic knives that you can use until your techniques will be good and you can master it without cutting yourself. So I have shown to you these simple ways, and now I tell you an exercise that you can make every day, or if you can do it every day, it's perfectly. If not, when you do your training, after you finish your training, make 10 minutes of this training. It's a combo, a drill, a combination of these four techniques that I was showing you. You take your training knives, or if you're advanced and you work already with the real one, the real knife, and from a guard position you have this exercise. You have one strike with a knife, direct strike. You have one uppercut and one hook and one uppercut. So 1, 2, 3. This is one exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Every time, understand that knife fighting means moving. If you are standing, and not only knife fighting, every from hand to hand fighting to fire weapons and to blade combat, the idea of movement, it's what you must implement in your trainings, that in reality you do it without thinking. Because a fixed target is a dead target. So you must move. For the beginning, your exercise, you can do it without moving. You stay on the same place. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm making a little bit faster, but you will start to do it very slow. It's working your mechanics of the body. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're repeating this type slow, thinking at what you are doing, learning the process, And after doing many times in this way, 1 minute, you do it as fast as you can. You increase your speed without stopping, and you do it as fast as you can. To implement also the elbow strike, I have another exercise. You are in the reverse grip. I have the same. If you have a jab, you have this kind of punch. Boom. Twisting. Now you do the same mechanics, only that you must reach your target or hitting with the knife. So my position is this. So I must, imagine, I must hit with my blade the target. So I have one strike with a knife, coming back with the hand, and one cutting on the carotid. So I have one strike that is coming in the soft tissues of the neck. If I penetrate, this is penetrating the trachea. This is meaning deficiency of breathing, is meaning suffocation. So I penetrate, one strike is penetrating the trachea, coming back like a piston short and making a cut on the lateral carotid. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, cutting. This movement, this technique, it's always, you do it with moving your body. I'm showing you for the beginning only from static place, but normally you must do it like I'm striking 1, 2, I'm getting back. I'm striking, getting back. I'm striking, getting back. I'm striking, getting back. The same idea, the first exercise that I show you with one strike with a knife, direct strike, one uppercut, one hook. In reality, it will not happen to be there, to do all from the same place. Because if I am on the same place, I'm hitting the target. Okay, maybe I hit the neck, maybe I hit the kidneys, but in the same time, my target will not be a fixed target. He will also strike me with a knife. So what is the reason? I kill him, but also I will be dead or have deadly wounds. So in reality, a knife fighting is reduced to a very simple concept. How fast I deploy my weapon, how fast I strike, and how precise I strike. So, what is the idea? To be and to know 1000 techniques of knife fighting if you never trained or you didn't train so much in deploying your knife. When you go on the street and you are with a family and, for example, let's say you have the knife on you or the tactical pen, you don't go with a knife on the street like this. You have your knife concealed, put it in your pocket or at the belt or in other parts depending on where you want to wear it and from where you want to deploy it. So if you have it there and now in this moment when you walk with your family, something goes wrong and somebody attacks you from 2 meters, 3 meters, or something goes wrong and you must deploy your weapon, but you didn't train or you didn't train sufficiently to deploy fast your weapon, you will be a guy that was knowing 1000 techniques of knife fighting but died because he didn't deploy his weapon. So the most important thing doesn't matter to who you talk and what is saying what and the most important thing is to train to deploy your weapon. When you know to deploy your weapon in normal conditions, and we'll discuss this in the next part, I will discuss with you about the deploying of the weapon and other things related to this. When you know to deploy your weapon in stress condition, under adrenaline and other stuff like this, means that you can operate after your techniques that you learn. You can protect yourself with this weapon. Until you don't take it out, it's a weapon that is dead. It's becoming alive when you take it outside of your pocket and you open it, if you have a folder or other stuff like this. So very important training on your deployments. We discuss this in the next part. Other important stuff is your training to increase the speed. If you deploy fast your weapon and you have another guy that is coming with a knife or something it's happening, but you don't have a fast hit, and you are stabbed first, or you are stabbed more deadly than you reach him, this means that the fact that you train on deployment of weapon and you are fast to deploy the weapon but you are not fast to hit the target, you will be the guy that it was very fast to deploy his weapon but he died because he were not fast to strike with the weapon. And for this we have special exercise that we also discuss in the next parts of how to increase your speed. And the last one, but the same importance like the other before, it's the precision with which you strike. So what is the reason to have to be the fast, to deploy fast your weapon, to strike fast sorry, the aggressor, but to not strike it in the body zone that creates him very deadly wounds, or it incapacitates him to continue his attack. So this is the main three things that I am using to teach my students in tactical combat system philosophy. Okay guys, now I will show you some drills, some combos that you can practice with your knife, that it will help you to increase your speed and the motricity of the body. These drills are only drills. I repeat, reality is different. So when you see martial arts, traditional martial arts that are having the knife fighting system implemented in it, like for example Kali, I respect these martial arts, and part of the techniques that I teach also come from Kali. But you must understand that reality is not doing with your partner what you see doing with your partner 10,000 techniques. These guys, the same like here in my system, are making these techniques like a drill to increase their motricity and speed. In reality, knife fighting, it's very fast, very aggressive, and you will not have the possibility to dance with your aggressor. Who deploy the weapon fast, how fast you strike, and how precise. This is all. One strike, two strikes, and it's over. So these drills remains like drills, only helping you in your training. So I will show you now the first drill. From a normal position, doesn't matter, I repeat to you, in close combat is not existing a position in which you must start the techniques, because the techniques I can start being on the wall and watching my watch or talking on the telephone, and from here I must deploy the weapon or fight. So choose your position. Normally your body must be a little bit bended from your knees, your weight a little bit down. When I do the techniques, I always keep in mind the protection. This is very important, doesn't matter. When I begin to use my knife and I am in a knife fighting or in a knife attack, I try to protect my vitals, parts of the body. So from the normal position, this hand here protecting a little bit the side of my neck, I am in this tense position, or I start here. You can start the same to be easier for you. And I am doing one cut, coming with another cut. I am turning a little bit to you to see better. One diagonal cut on the neck. It's coming on the neck. With another one that is coming on the other part. Yeah. So basically, this move is a cross, make it with a knife. I exaggerate the moves, I make it more large, because you must start do it like this to learn how the hand must move. But in reality, after you train, you know that the strike must be very close. It must not be so large. If I have an opponent in my front and I was being able to deploy my weapon and I make this kind of move, a strike, a fast strike to my neck, to my heart, it's finish all the things that I wanted to do. So the basic idea is we do this now, this twisting, this large movement, to learn the movement. After I learn that I must do this kind of cross, cutting in diagonal and meeting in one point, I decrease the distance of the strikes. And then when I am better and better, I will put a target on the wall like a circle, and I will strike it as fast as I can, but very close to the target. Why? If you have the body like a target, all this movement until the blade is touching the body, it's passive movement. You are not cutting. I'm not cutting. It's time and distance that is not helping me to be fast and reach my target. So normally the active energy, the active cat, is beginning when my blade is reaching, it's making connection with his body, with his neck or arm or what I want to cut. So after training and training, you want to eliminate these long movements, because this is passive energy. It's not helping you to become fast, and it's very dangerous that you will be struck before you reach. Like I showed you before, we have one slash and coming with the second one. One slash coming with the second one. 1, 2, 1, 2. When you will begin to practice and you will be better and better to do this movement and faster, you will decrease, you will not make any more this large movement, and you will make it smaller and smaller and smaller until you can reach only to make it at the level of the neck. After making this exercise, so one strike, the other strike, you can repeat it like the other exercises drills that I say to you. 10 minutes, but make 1 minute very slow, 1 minute very fast, 1 minute very slow, 1 minute very fast. So every time you make these exchanges of speed, so in time this is helping you increase your speed and motricity of the body. After you make this drill, you can put another move inside. So I have 1, 2, and entering with one more strike, like an uppercut from down up. So I have 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is coming on the carotid, this on the other side of the carotid, or the other side of the neck, and this is entering from down like an uppercut, like a force strike, penetrating under the thoracic box, entering at the level of the heart. Even if your blade is not so big, in the moment of impact, because it's a powerful strike, all the body, it's compriming, and the shock and the power of your hand and the blade will enter and reach the heart. So 1, 2, 3 entering. 1, 2, 3 entering. 1, 2, 3 entering. Simple techniques, simple drills that you can implement until you become better in your movements. Guys, now you see me a little bit without my head, because I put the camera to be more focused on what is more important now and what I want to show you, the deployment of the knife. So very important stuff. If you use your personal knife, if you train with your personal knife, and for example it's a folder, learn the first important thing, learn the local laws of your state, because in some states, to having a folder, like in Austria for example, where I'm living now, it's legal. In other countries you can be arresting for having this kind of tools. The most safety tool is that for sure nobody will do nothing to you, is the tactical pen. But if you operate with your weapon, check your laws. If you decide, even if the laws doesn't permit you to wear the weapon, it's your responsibility, so it's your choice. After you see the laws in your country and you choose to wear a knife for protection, for combat with you, it's very important that from the beginning you start to operate and train with that knife. Not with another knife, with that knife. If you train, for example, with 100 knives, you will not master neither one. Good. So, if you choose your knife, train with that knife. If you have a folder like this, for example, train with this. Train to deploy it, train to open it. If it's not automatic, train to make the techniques with it. Another very important thing regarding the deployment and where you have your knife is, if you begin to train yourself to have the knife in your life, in your normal life, on day by day, having in the pocket, in this position, train every time from that position. Take every time and put your knife in that position. Okay, if you can experiment and find the best position for your status, for your clothes, for everything, depending on your job. Maybe every day you are having a suit or other stuff, I don't know, depending on your environment. But learn to use it from the same place. Because if you train 3 or 4, today I train and use it from here, tomorrow from other part, tomorrow from, or even if I train all the time to use it here, but when I go on the street I will have it at my back. If something is happening in that moment, believe me that you will not be able to deploy your weapon fast, because of the factors that will influence this: adrenaline, fear, and other stuff like this. So train from the same position. I will teach you now one type of using the knife, deploying a knife from this kind of position, and then another one. So I put my knife here in the pocket. It's a folder knife, it's not automatic, so the movement that I implemented, the movement that I put in this knife must be very fast and powerful, so I can open it. If not, this kind of knife must be open like this, but this meaning that you will be dead. So I'm in this position all the time. When you're training, teach your hands muscle memory. Teach your hands to be on the pocket. I use, for example, this thumb, I put it in my pocket, and the others are covering my knife. Like this. This is helping one, for the aggressors or others to not see my knife, because seeing my knife can influence the possibility of my reaction to surprise them. So I put my hand protecting the knife from visibility, protecting also from others to catch my knife, that they have seen that I have a knife, or other stuff like this. Hand in the pocket, this is the position. If, for example, I have an aggressor and it is in my front, I never stay. Maybe my hands cannot be in this moment there. Maybe I have in my hands the telephone, or maybe I have, I don't know, other things, and I cannot cover my knife. I will never stay in this position. I change my position, like in this situation. I am changing it. So here I have the tactical pen, so you also can see something. So I change my position from this, in this, a perpendicular, a vertical position on his axe of the body, in which he cannot see that I have the knife here. Here I have my knife. My thumb finger is going inside between the knife and my leg. The others are covering the knife. From this position, this thumb that is already on the knife will help me. The other fingers are coming, if you see, on the clip that catch my pants, are coming on the clip, and together creating a force that is taking the knife out. So I don't take it from here, because now it's not an automatic knife, and even if it's an automatic knife and he has the button here, I must change my hands and put it to open it. So already my thumb is going down. When I take the knife, my thumb is here on the knife. I catch the knife, the other fingers are coming on the clip, and it's deploying out. Another important thing is when I come and catch my knife, these fingers, the first fingers, 1, or two, but basically the first one, I let it free, like showing down, and I catch with the others. Because when I take the knife, when the knife will be out, my button, for example, for my knife, it's here. So I can use this and the movement to open the knife with a powerful fast move, even if it's not an automatic one. So I repeat, my thumb, it's going directly on the knife inside, as much as I can, the knife to come in my palm, the top of the knife, the bottom of the knife. With the other fingers, I catch the clip of the knife. This finger remains free, the index finger remains free, so I deploy it and I use the finger to open the knife. Of course, if, for example, you already seen that you have a possible threat, some guys, it's dark in the night, are coming in front of you, and maybe you see that you alter the course, you pass the other way, and they are crossing again, and you have signs that they are not having good intentions. Then you already, when you have and identify possible targets, you already can do the movement. You can put the hand already prepare, maybe drag it a little bit outside of the pocket. This is the idea in which you don't want already to take it out, all the knife to be outside the pocket. Yeah, but it can be prepared already, so you can deploy it very fast if something goes wrong. So now showing you from other perspective with the upper body, it's the same movement. I put the thumb on the knife inside, I take it with the other fingers, I take it out, this finger it's on the top of the knife, opening the folder. I want to show you this movement. Why? Because when I was filming from this position, I was making this, and from this movement you don't have the real power to do also a strike, because I want to teach you to reduce the unnecessary movements. So if I'm taking the knife out, this is one movement, you need to do it. But if I'm opening here the knife, means that I'm in a position that I must come with the hand and deliver a strike. So it's dead space, dead time. So what I'm teaching is, when I deploy my weapon and I am in this position deploying in the weapon, the opening on the knife, when I open the knife and the cut, it's in the same time. So I come a little bit down. So I open and I cut. The knife it's opening in the air, and already I can deliver a strike. So this is helping me having already a strike on the target, creating, maybe helping if it's not a deadly slash. Imagine, this is very important, you create at least the space so you can use your weapon or better techniques. Yeah. So again, I take the knife, I expand it with a strike. I take it, I expand it with a strike. I open it by striking it. Then I can come with another thrust. Okay guys, what is very important here to understand is that the most important thing that you must apply is your awareness, to be aware of what is happening, around you, of identifying possible targets. Maybe it's sounding paranoia, but it's not. This is the difference between one guy that can survive or protect himself and his family, and one that it will be a victim. Because the most important part of a real dangerous situation, what makes the difference to stay alive or to die, or to become a victim and to die, is when and how much it's taking you to make the changing from the relax mode to the fighting mode. Because okay, we go to the gym, we are prepared, we make sparring, or we go to a professional MMA fighter because we are fighters and we are prepared to fight, or we go to our Krav Maga training, or to the shooting range and we shoot. But all the time we have the mindset of fighting, of being prepared to do these things. But in reality, it will not happen like this. In reality, at least, okay, it can happen if you are working like an operator or a special forces, or in a special forces unit, or in army or other stuff, or in the police, and you are always prepared and have in your mind that something go wrong, and you are there to do this job. At least you are not, if you are not this kind of guys, the real situations will happen when you are in a relaxed mode. You are at your job, doing your papers, you are with your family, going on the street, taking a walk, and something is going bad. You hear, for example, a scream, a gunshot or something. So that moment from which you were in a relaxed mode until you twist your mindset to fighting mode, that is the most important. Because many people are very good at their trainings, are very good fighters, are very good in what they do, but when they are facing to reality, they will have a blockage. They will block themselves, and their brain will be in a blockage situation, and they cannot do what they were practicing and they were good at. So very important to have this kind of training that is giving you the possibility to change your mindset from relax to fight. One exercise that I do with my students and I implement it in my courses and seminars, it's putting, when you have the partner, this course that we do now, it's an individual, you are working alone. I show you some techniques, it's the basic part. The next video course that I will make, it will be with partner, so it will be techniques. Okay, also these techniques you can apply with partner, so it's nothing wrong in doing it. If you have, it's better. I was training 80%, I think, from my skills that I have are coming from training these basic skills. The rest is coming after. One exercise is that you face your partner in front. Imagine, for example, at the shooting range. You are at the shooting range, you are having your gun in your holster, the instructor is coming, is telling you to breathe, to take your mind from the shooting range, to relax your mind, to going outside from there, to not anticipate and not wait for the beeping from the signal of the timer when you must shoot. So implementing a type of mindfulness or relaxing meditation technique in your training to relax your body, and then 2 or 3 persons make you a multiple attack on you and you must click and make your training, make your techniques, it will help you more than the normal trainings. If you are becoming good at your techniques in your trainings, please change your trainings. Okay, you are good at it, change it, make it more difficult. Put more physical effort, put push-ups, put running, put more aggressors, put more realistic attacks, take out from your training the collaboration with your partner. Okay, you are doing like this, you are attacking like this is bullshit, this is not helping you with nothing in your training. To see if you can survive in a real situation means that you let your partners, that they will not attack you like a real gang, criminal squad, or I don't know what, with bats, with knives and others. They will protect you to not be harmed, put them to be a little bit more violent, and if you were able to maintain yourself few seconds in the legs, means that maybe you have the possibility to survive a little time in the real situation. I repeat, if you don't have at you the tools that I am teaching you and telling you to have it. So in these days, walking on the street without a personal defense tool, it can be a gun, can be a knife, can be a tactical pen, can be everything. It's a bad choice. So carry your weapon and you will increase your capability to survive. So like I said earlier, very important awareness. You can know and you can be the best at your techniques, the best gunfighter, the best knife fighter, doesn't matter. If you are not aware, you will not be able to identify the threat, so you will die like the guy that was the best knife or gun fighter. So the most important, identify the threats. After identifying the threats, then you can apply what you learn and you practice in your trainings. Very important thing, you wear your knife all the time. I repeat, wear it in the same place, train from the same place. Now I will show you some tips or how to be covered with cover your knife, to conceal your knife, but to not have it in your pockets, to be concealed. I already identified the threat and I want now to conceal my knife until I use it. I give you a scenario. I'm walking on the street, like I say, I enter an alley. On the alley, some guys are coming, I see a shiny blade or something, they are blocking me, but until reaching them, I was able to deploy my weapon. If it was a folder, open it. If it's a fixed blade, it's already in the combat position. I open my blade and I will show you some types to hiding. One of the techniques of concealing, after I deploy my weapon, but I don't know if I will use it or no, but it's better that I will be prepared because I identify possible threats, is when I already open my knife and I imagine that it's night, for example, outside, I palm it, I put it on the palm, twist it around. So for example, in this position, catching with my thumb, twisting around, and on my body. The other fingers are going out. I'm not catching with all my fist and put it here because it's seeing that I have something. The other fingers must be relaxed. Only this is catching it and put it on my body. So from here I can utilize it, only twisted, striking or slashing or doing other movements. This is one of it. The other, if I deploy my weapon and when I deploy it, let's say it's a fixed blade, I cannot twist it to be in the reverse grip to hide it like this and it's in normal position. I can also do this by twisting my body if I'm talking to you in diagonal and hiding my blade on my leg. If the aggressor is in my front, if the aggressor is in my front, I make the same. So I'm in diagonal and the knife I'm reaching here, but from here I can already use the knife if something is going wrong. Okay, this is a little bit too overt. I already have the knife, even if I covered a little bit, it's very hard to not see it at all, but it can help. If you have multiple aggressors and they make like a circle around you, they will see it. But in rest, if I have one or two opponents and I let them be in my front and I have the knife put it like on the back, it will be very hard for them to identify in time the weapon. You must understand that I'm talking again, you don't see my head because I want to see my upper body, because we are talking about concealment. You must understand that it's very important, the concealment. It's very important to know how to hide your weapon. It's very important to deploy, if you have the time, to deploy already your weapon in a position that is ensure you the fast use of it. So I was showing you on the level, the more down level. Now we go up, upper level. So if I'm already having the knife out and I'm talking with you, I can put the knife in the normal grip under the axilla, like this is the position in which the majority are standing. And I recommend this kind of position even when you are in a situation of fighting and you are in a hand-to-hand combat and you identify some threats, somebody that are coming, some guys that are coming to speak with you but are aggressive in their language, or I don't know, you identify a possible threat. Don't stay with the hands in your pocket. Don't stay with the hands down like this, because your brain, if you have an attack, a punch, your brain, until it's sending messages, your eyes, until the electromagnetic impulses, until they transmit to the brain the messages that this guy was moving, and until your brain transmits messages to your body to move, it will be much slower than the aggressor is normally. So all the time, if you are having a situation, be with your hands up. Even if you are in the position like this, it's much simple to protect, to cover myself from this position, or I'm standing like this and I can operate my strikes or to block myself. It's much simpler and it can help you a lot. So I have my knife, it's in normal grip, I have it under the axilla here, look, yeah? But in a normal position, if I have the target in front, it's not seeing. So if I want to give a strike and I am in this position, I only raise my arm and I strike, 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 strike. So only raising my arm, striking. I can cover myself. One, strike. So again, normal position, under the axilla, it's here. If I have you in my front, you don't see it, but I can strike. The same idea, if I have it in reverse, I put it in reverse. I can put the blade, I twist the blade, if it's not double H, like this. And it's the same concept. Another way, I take the blade, if it's not a big blade, and I stay with the hands here. Now, I want you to realize and to compare all the techniques. Because normally, if you are on the day, you have a shiny blade, and you put it here, even if you twist it, even it's the possibility the probability that the others are seeing it. I am referring the concealment, this kind of concealment can be done more on the darkness and use the environment around you, the light and everything, so you can conceal it better. But another variant is here. I'm in the same position, lateral, striking. So one here, one here, one here with the palm. Okay guys, let's say now that I changed the position of the knife. Now to know the knife it's concealed, but it's concealed under the t-shirt. It's a position that I like very much to use. Not with this knife, this is a little bit bigger knife, but it's a good position because it's not so visible, and because I'm also a tactical shooting instructor, and I used to shoot and carry my weapon in the appendix holster in this position. Already my body knows this kind of movement or of drawing, taking up the t-shirt, taking the gun and shoot is the same, only that now I take the knife. So it's good position that you can try it and test it to see what is more applicable to you, to your body and all these things. If you have more kilograms, if you are a massive guy and you have, for example, a big belly, for sure this will not permit you this position to carry in this way. So you must also think of how your body is designed and looks, and if it's okay you can practice it. If it's okay you keep it and you train until you become very fast to deploy your weapon from that position. So I have my knife in the holster. Up I have a slim t-shirt. Normally in real situations I will have a more large t-shirt that permits me more fast to take it out, and on it I have a tactical shirt. So let's think that I have a situation, it's very fast, something is going wrong. I see a guy with beard that is speaking Arabic, that is beginning to stab people in the bus station, and I want fast to deploy my weapon. So after I identify my target, the technique is very simple. In this case, because my shirt is not closed, it's open, I go directly with my not with the strong hand, with the free hand, with the other hand. I go on the t-shirt, I grab it in this form with these fingers, I grab the t-shirt, I take it up, the other hand is going on the knife and deploy the knife, and I am ready to use it. So in a fast thing, it's working very fast, and I think it's more faster than other positions. So I'm here, I'm already in a fighting position. One is going on the t-shirt, taking out, one is going already on the knife, deploying it and ready to strike or use the knife. The same if I want to deploy it in normal. I take it, this blade has the blade on this side, but I can put it, reverse the knife, so I can take it in the normal grip out. So this is the concealment that I like. Okay, repeat, this is a bigger, a little bit big knife for this kind of wearing, but I show you like this. One exercise to implement this for this type of concealment is standing on the wall, put a circle on the wall, a target, what you want. You are in a normal position and you deploy your knife, striking in the target. You are in a normal position, you deploy, strike with the target. Then after time you also implement it moving, so after striking you go back. So I am on the target and I'm doing the technique from relax mode. Strike, going back. From relax mode, take a step, going back. So for the first concealment technique that I was showing you, when you have it in your pocket, you can make an exercise that can help you, but I repeat, these exercises must be every day that you must do it, or as much times that you can, because it's very important in the real knife combat. How fast you deploy your knife, it's one of the most important things that you must know. So for the first concealment in your pocket, from normal position, standing, one hand, now I have also a shirt, but doesn't matter, one hand is going on the pocket, or maybe you can exercise being already in this position, like I show you with the finger and thumb, put it on the knife. One hand is going on the pocket, it's on the knife, and when you deploy your weapon, the other hand, it's protecting your part, like entering. Imagine that you're strike with a bottle, or somebody is, I don't know, punching, but there are multiple aggressors. One of them it has knife. So I'm making this position, I lower my body, entering in the hard position. In this moment I can deploy my weapon and strike with it or do other movements. So I enter with my elbow, let my body down. In this moment I drag my knife, open it down, because now my aggressor is near me, already delivering punches. So I cannot open the knife and cut in the same thing, because I don't have the range and the distance. So I must open it near me and begin to stab or making my movements. Normal position, enter, drag, attack, make your technique. Some other drills that you can operate is from the same position. I am deploying the weapon, I am entering in this stance, protecting myself, opening the knife, and after this you can begin to deliver the combos that I was showing you in the first part of the training. Protecting, deliver, strike, 1, 2, 3. I have the knife, I'm in a normal position, I'm entering, delivering, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, strike, 3, hook, 4, uppercut. Or you can combine it how you want. You can make 1, then uppercut, then hook. So like this you can combine deploying of weapon, protection of your body, opening the knife, striking the aggressor. Another simple drill that can help you for motricity and your movements is from the position, protect with your hand as much as you can. You have one cut, another one, you come on the other part, then you twist your knife, you go up, and then you strike with the knife straight. So one cut, 2 cuts, I twist the knife and come again with a slash, and from this position I entering at the level of the head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, up, and from here striking with a knife at the level of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. From the concealment position, I am with the hands, I conceal the knife here. From here you can exercise fast, precise strikes that are very important in your practice. So like I repeat myself, put a circle, a paper on the wall. You can exercise this having a marker. You have a marker in your hand, you have a paper that you put on the wall, you make a small circle and you try to make this technique by marking the inside the circle. And then you decrease the circle as much as you can until it's becoming more and more little. This is one exercise that helps you for the precision. So I have the knife here, I have the target in my front, and it's concealed the knife, and it's the moment in which I decide to action. So I strike with the knife at the level of the neck, trachea, or on the eyes. But because the eye, it's smaller than the neck and it's more harder to hit, you must have a lot of training and precision to hit this target. Now if you put also that your target is not standing but it's in the move, or it's having some reflexes and it's not staying in the same position, it will be more harder. So basically I recommend you to make your target to be the neck. So from this position, I'm coming fast to strike to the neck. Boom. Fast, fast, fast. I'm with the knife. So very important, exercise this with a paper. You put a paper, you have a marker, and you do the same motion like I show you. The knife, this hand is going up, this is delivering the strike on the target. The hand must be very relaxed. If you want to reach the moment in which you have speed, your idea of putting force in your movements, it will block you to reach this, to have speed. The movement in all the things, when you're talking about knife, your hand must be relaxed, because relaxation is creating speed, is relaxed. Only in the moment in which I approach the target and I'm close to hit, then I contract all my muscles. So the contraction transforms the speed in power. So only in that moment, until then, I'm not like this with the hand, I'm not making all my body, I'm not contracting all my body, because this will not create speed, and in knife fighting I need speed. So your hand must be relaxed. Only in the moment I reach the target I contract it. Let's practice now some drills. So exercises, you can practice it, make it also with your partner. First, if you have a partner, let him and use him like a target to accommodate with the moves, your moves, and with your striking. And then in time, I will give you the next exercises in the next videos that you can do with your partner, in the idea that is not collaborating, and we approach the training from a more realistic view. So from normal position, I am having one strike on the face, one at the bottom, like an uppercut. Now I am going in the laterally and coming with one at the head. So I have 1, 2 from the same place. I am moving one at the head. 1, 2. I am moving one at the head. So 1, 2, one at the head. 1, 2, one at the head. In knife fighting, and especially in all the the combat system that use weapons, it's very important that you learn to use with the both hands. Even if I know that my strong hand is the right one, and with this I am doing the majority of my moves, also I train my left hand because in a real situation it can happen that you will be cut, stabbed, shot, and maybe you are in the impossibility to use your strong hand. So knowing how to use the weapon also, even at the basic levels, is very important for your survival. So this exercise is created to operate with the both hands, even if in reality you will not do this technique changes the hands, because you can be as fast with the same hand only by moving your legs and searching for another position, but it's helping you to learn to use the both hands. And yes, there can be situations in which, in real situations, in which you need to change your hands because maybe your knife hand is grabbed or other stuff like that. So, how is the exercise? I have one strike in my front with one hand, then I have another target coming from my back. I only come with the knife, changing in the other hand, twisting my body, remaining on the same position but twisting my body, and striking on the reverse grip with the other hand. The change of the knife is this: I strike, and with the other hand I come on the knife, catching it, twisting it, striking. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. One I strike in front, I'm coming in the chest position, the power box, I change my hands, twisting my body, striking the other target in my back. So 1, 2. Look at my hands. Now the left one is protecting, now the right is taking the position, and the other is striking. So simple exercise: 1, 2, 1, 2. The same exercise you can do it starting from reverse with this hand. 1 at the level of the face, changing in the power box like this, also in the reverse, but now I want to strike down at the level, down level, yeah. I don't strike anymore up, I am striking more down, yeah. So I have one reverse with in the strong hand, changing like I'm praying. I put my hands together, down, 2 at the bottom. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The same concept of exercise, but standing on the same position. I don't move my body, only the hands. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Changing always here, twisting. Another good exercise that you can implement in your knife training is the next one. I am having the knife, it can be, for example, concealed in my hand, but like I show you, in the back of the leg, or it can be concealed here. The idea is that I have a target on my axe in my front, and I will strike, I will deliver a strike. The strike, it will be under the chin, hitting the neck, but under the chin, in this zone. But to do this, I also want in the same time to create already my movement of going away. If I only strike and I remain in this place, and imagine that I have another aggressor, I am a fixed target, so I can be hit. So I must begin implementing the strike, my strike, with already starting a moving of evasion. So from this position I will strike up. The strike is up under the chin. fast power. So I will strike up, but in the same time, look at my position. I'm changing and going. I'm making a big step and going outside the target. So I'm striking and then I can take out from the range. I can get out from the range. So again, I'm here, I'm exiting, strike, exit, going out. So very important this thing to begin after you master a little bit the basic and the ABC of this concept, to begin to implement it, movement in your technique. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter that, for example, I strike, I give one strike, I also implement it and learn how to move, to go away. I'm cutting, stabbing, I go away. Cut, stab, go away. Cut, stab, go away. So after time you can introduce this in your training with movement. Your legs, your hands, everything must function in like a machine and not be separated movements. I want you to understand that the concept that I teach with the knife can be applied to a large range of weapons, of tools. For example, like I say to you, the tactical pen. Or maybe you are an electrician and you have screwdrivers at you. Or maybe you are working at the office and you have another metal pen. Or doesn't matter what, you can use things that are having the same striking mechanism like a knife. I'm not referring here that, for example, I have a tactical pen and I can slash with it like a knife. No, for sure it's not possible. But the other concepts of the knife, like characteristic of the knife, like the striking, like picking, it's applying the same to your tool. So my advice to you, if you are not a fan of knives, if you don't want to have knives and use knives and carrying them with you in day by day, take a tactical pen. But the only difference is that when you start train, don't train slashes. Don't train like with a knife. Don't train with a knife, even if you make knife training, don't train with a knife for slashes. Because in day by day you don't have and you don't want to have a knife. So take only the characteristics of stabbing and picking with the knife. So if you are training with a knife and you do this kind of attacks and this kind of movements, it will not be no difference when you have a metal, titanium or other material pens. With this thing you can pass also in the airport, you can take it with you in the airport, in the plane. So believe me, it's creating a lot of damage. It's metal, it can penetrate the soft tissues. Imagine this in the eye or in the neck or other parts of the body. So use your mechanics and what you learn and make only striking and picking techniques. So for example, if I have my tactical pen I use it like I conceal my knife in my pocket. I'm doing the same thing. I am putting my thumb like I was putting on the knife. It's the same process. The other fingers are coming outside, catching, deploying the tactical pen and begin to do my strikings. So basically it's the same concept. The same concept when you have also a screwdriver. Other good drills that you can use in your training are changing the lines of attack. For example, if I have a strike that is coming from lateral and I want to hit his neck, I can immediately change it on the other side. So I can have double attack 1, 2, or maybe I give one and he blocked, or I didn't reach the target and I change it on the other part. So from this position I have one changing, one. Look at my body, always I am using all my body, twisting, so I can reach the target. It's very important to understand that in the knife concept you don't need power. I don't need so much power to strike, to deliver a punch that is going knockout. This is a blade. If you have, you can be a 16-year-old child, or I don't know, an old grandpa, and to be same as deadly as a expert in knives, or how you want to call it. So this you need only fast hands and precision. And when you operate with your body, you need good mechanics. So if I'm striking, for example, here, and I'm coming to strike the neck, and I want to change the position, my body, it's moving. It's creating a force and a movement that can deliver a better strike. It's the same if I'm doing here and here. 1, 2, always change the position, even if I have it reversed. 1 strike, 2 strike. 1 strike, 2 strike. So you can repeat like this. Reverse guard, 1 strike on the neck, then you change your position going outside, strike. Normally it's with the movement 1, 2, I move. 1, 2. You can do it after changing in normal guard. I can have 1, 2. 1 is coming on the neck, 2 I'm going, and I'm coming with a normal straight attack on the neck. The same if I'm beginning with a lateral one, I'm coming with a normal hook reverse on the target. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Another drill. 1 slash. It's like the one of the exercises that I show you in the beginning. 1 diagonal slash, 1 other slash, 1 coming up, slashing, 1 entering inside, stepping with the other hand, making another strike to the level of the heart. So 1, 2, 3 coming up, cutting in diagonal, 4 stabbing straight to the eyes or to the neck, 5 I continue coming with my body in front with the other hand, striking at the heart another time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is happening this? Okay, I repeat, it's a drill. Don't put yourself in the idea to think that it will be the real situation and it will happen like this. We learn different things, and these drills are helping you evolving in your training and become better. So if I'm thinking that I'm doing my strikes and I attack, I repeat, I don't have a fixed target. So if I have a slash, I have another slash. If I come with another one, the target will not be a fix. It's not put it in some handcuffs and staying fixed. So he will move. If I am stabbing again, he will move. So this is the moment in which I'm rehabilitating my body. I'm recalibrating my body and coming with another strike because I'm moving and follow the target. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the same exercise, but try now to not make so large movements. So I'm in the same position. I'm 1, 2 cut, 3 coming up, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stabbing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stabbing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Another important thing, another technique that you can do is I am delivering the strikes and all the time I am not delivering in the same level. If I am attacking all the time with the knife on the upper level, this creates him blockage or permit him to block, or I risk to not hit precise my target. So all the time I am ensuring that I am changing the angle of the attack. This is very important. So if I am attacking on the upper level, the next one it will be at down level. If I am going at the down level, the next one it will be up. So this is another exercise that you can do. Yeah, you can stay in the position and become. We get 1, 2, up, down, down, up, change, down, up, down. So another exercise from the concealment in the pocket. I'm in the normal position. I already catch my knife. I am making my protection. I am deploying the knife. I have one strike up to the neck, under the neck, and one hook at the head. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One at the neck, one at the neck. So very important is for you to understand the mechanics of the cutting, but I'm talking now more important about the mechanics of stabbing. So when we talk about stabbing and you in reality are doing a stabbing, is the possibility that the knife, when it's entering inside, you don't hit a soft part of the body and you hit more hard organs or more hard parts of the body. It will not exit like when, for example, you are doing your training and your mechanics and then you're making a slash and you're exiting like this outside of the body. It can happen when you penetrate with a knife and you enter inside. Doesn't matter where, but you have another kind of mechanics to not be able to take the knife so easy. So put in your training, when you are doing stabbing, when you stab, another force that it's taking it outside the knife. So if I am doing the mechanics and I'm stabbing, I'm also exiting outside, because this is helping me train and be prepared for this kind of situation. Because if I'm all the time making like this and tomorrow I will stab and the knife will not go outside easy, it will be a moment of shock for me and of blockage, because I was not trained in this manner. So if I'm doing a striking and I'm doing another one inside, I'm taking with the same force outside. One entering, ready. Another drill that you can work to catch the basics of movements, of deploying the knife and all this, is you can stay on the wall. You can have the knife deployed in your pocket, concealed in your pocket, and you are, imagine, you can make a scenario, you are in a situation in which you discuss, you have some individuals that are aggressive in their language. You already prepare your hand and the other it's up, like a stopping, like you don't want to have no bad time with these guys. You react and you show them that you don't want any confrontation. So from this position, because you have the knife concealed, you must create the time and space to deploy your weapon. So you use your hand, for example, I have here my opponent. You use your hand by hitting with your palm or with your punch, doesn't matter, and in the same time the hand, when I hit, is deploying my knife and I can operate it. So the movement movement is, this is striking, this is dragging the knife, this is striking, this is taking out the knife. So use your body and use your self-defense skills. It can be a punch, doesn't matter, it can be an elbow, it can be a head. Yeah? I catch him, I give a head, I deploy my weapon, and I begin to do my techniques. One hand is going, striking, the other is deploying the knife outside, striking, and beginning my technique. Ways of opening your folder that is not automatic. First, you must work a lot of the folder. If it's a new one, it will not happen this. So you must work with it. You must open it and making training with it. So one method is, doesn't matter where I have it, when I deploy my weapon and I have it in my hand, one is that I choose to make the same like I showed you before, open it but also creating a slash with a knife. So the mechanism is that I come with a knife a little bit up, and from here I deliver force, and also in the same time pushing with the finger on the open button. So when it's coming, I push on the open button, and this force is creating this. Coming up, when I start the movement, I also open it, I push with the fingers and it's opening, and also I deliver a strike. The other one is I'm deploying the weapon and I make the same movement but in lateral. So my movement is from here in lateral. The knife is doing this. So with my hand I'm pushing, I'm creating a force, and in the same time it's the same mechanism. I am pushing the button and the knife is opening. So for example, if I don't have enough space and I have an opponent that is near me, I cannot make this kind of movement. Only if I am going back, I'm creating distance. But if I don't have where, I have a wall or something and it's very near, I will choose to protect and to open it very fast, the knife here. So here it will be the opening and then doing. If I have the distance, I can make movement and also deliver my strike. Very important, this need a lot of exercise, because if you are doing only this but you don't train yourself after making this, for example, on a material, on a piece of meat, on something, to make the same movement, on a dummy, or to make the same movement, and you don't know the force that you put, exists the possibility that when you deliver the knife and you want to cut, the knife to go out from your hand. Because when you make this, it must be a couple of forces here that make opposite with the body or with the material that you make contact with. It's not like in the air. Here the hand is going. When you have an obstacle, it will make contact with it and it will be a blockage. So you must learn how much force you must put and how much of your knife must deliver, because when you do this movement, the part of the knife that it will cut, it will be the bottom. If you hit with all the blade, it's possible that this force will make your knife go down. So it's the idea of exercising and repeating until you catch it. The same with here, it's exercising. It's possible to not exit from the first time, but it's not so complicated. You can make it also reverse. It must exist one force and another that is doing the opening of it. And the blockage, basically, I'm making the movement and then I stop it. This blockage creates the opening of the knife. Important when you do the techniques and you practice and you do alone or with with your partner to change all the time the position of your body and the direction in which the attack is coming. If you are learning to do it only by standing in one direction, imagine that in reality attacks can happen from all around you. So when you learn to move, it's also learning you to be aware of other potential targets. So if I make here some techniques, and then I come here and I'm doing other techniques, and then I close and make another one here, this means that I'm always changing the position of the body in such a way that I can identify other potential. I want to share with you now some bonus of this course. How you can apply, for example, I show you that in the next videos that I will make in the next video courses, it will be more stuff and we enter more deep in the tactical combat system techniques. The use of your knife or your tactical pen can help you a lot, even in the situation in which you, for example, have a better weapon like a gun. Yeah, you have a handgun. You have a handgun. I have a handgun now in an appendix position. You can have it in the holster and conceal with a t-shirt, with a shirt or a t-shirt. You are in a close range. You have an imminent attack coming at you from 2 meters, from 3 meters, attacking you with a knife or doing other kinds of attack. Deploying in that moment, when you have a target that is coming to you, an aggressor from 2 meters with a knife, deploying in that moment the gun, for example, I am in the appendix position of carrying it, so this means that I must take my t-shirt out, take my gun out, point it to the target and shoot, take my aim and shoot. So this is time, and I don't have neither the time, neither the distance to do this, so I will be for sure stabbed. And even if I shoot, what is the idea if I receive some deadly wounds? I have some deadly wounds. So what I'm doing basically, I have here the tactical pen, but it can be the knife. I can use first the tactical pen or the knife to stab, to create the distance. Then, after creating the distance, I can deploy my weapon and shooting to the target. So the idea is very simple. This, it's more faster to take it out and help me create the distance. And then I can basically use, even if I have the tactical pen in my hand, use the gun, or I can use it also only with one hand. So I'm here, I'm stabbing, I have the tactical pen, I'm doing slow stabbing, creating the space, going back, taking the gun and aiming and shoot. Much faster, stab, shoot. Stab, shoot. The same idea if, for example, I have the knife. I can use the knife, I have the knife now on the side of the gun, so it's more complicated. But I choose to deploy my knife so I can deliver a strike that is faster. I change the hands, maybe I deliver another one, but in this time I create the distance, deploy my weapon, and I'm prepared to shoot again. To shoot with my handgun. So again, I'm here, I can use my knife, striking, creating distance, and then use the gun. I have 1, 2. Another type of drill that you can make, an exercise that is very good for you in a basic, to learn the basic, the ABC, the fundamentals, it's doing boxing shadow with a knife. So if you know from boxing, you have the shadow boxing where you can fight with imaginary boxers or adversaries, so you can move and deliver your strikes in combination. Here is the same. I have the knife in front of me, I have the knife in my hand, and I begin to deliver my combos and moving and changing. Because I was showing you some exercises you can implement that. So strike, strike, changing, strike, strike, uppercut, strike. So all this you can come with the slashes also. So all these kind of movements you can implement in your training. Yeah, you will train with a training knife, and you move and make your combinations, yeah, with the knife. Okay guys, thank you very much for accessing this course. I hope that you find the information and the knowledge that I share with you very important. Don't forget, this is the first video course from a long series. I will share with you not only knife fighting techniques, but also fire weapons and other stuff regarding modern combat techniques. I do these videos because a lot of students are asking me to make them. A lot of students cannot access, maybe because of the location, my courses, and I share the information also on this way, so it will be simple for the people that want to train to learn tactical combat system techniques. Thank you very much.